friends! So today I have 4 main goals. One is I need to clean the office because there's stuff all over the floor. Not you included. You're perfect everywhere you go. Which leads me to the second task, which is making a new candle scent, which is going to be Osono's Bakery, inspired by Kiki's delivery service. I've been wanting to make a bakery scent for a while now, and that just felt like the right thing for me. I've already tested and developed that scent, and I just need to make the candles so I can actually launch it. Then a subscriber asked if I could also show how I do my labels, so I will also show that, like the entire beginning to end of making those candles, including making the labels. Then the next 2 tasks are I need to clean the kitchen so that I can do the next thing, which is making melon bread, which I've never made before, so we will see how that goes. My husband is having like kind of a hard day and he's coming home late, so I wanted to try to make something that I think would make him happy when he gets home. So I think that is definitely a spam text. I think I'm going to start with the kitchen because melon bread obviously has bread involved, so I need to let that rise and do all of its bread stuff. I don't know. I actually didn't really look at the recipe too hard, so I don't know how long the bread needs to proof for. Probably a good place to start. So let's go to the kitchen. Okay, we're in the kitchen. Very bad lighting as usual. It could honestly be worse in here. This is not close to the worst that it's been, but I do need to just have like a blank slate in here so I feel like I can actually bake. Let's clean. Call that good because I just have at least like one area that I can work in. So okay, so this one has a cookie dough recipe in it, but we have like a sugar cookie recipe that we use all the time that my husband really likes, so I'm gonna make that one instead. It says to make that first and then chill it in the refrigerator. Part of the reason we use the recipe we do is so that we don't have to chill it, but because of the way it's baking, I'm wondering if I should. Either way, I'll start making the cookies. Already behind because I didn't soften the butter. I'm also wondering if I should only make half of the cookie recipe. I think, okay, so the melon bread recipe says that it makes 8. I think I can get 8 like cookie shapes out of half of the cookie recipe, so I'm just gonna do half of the cookie recipe. I'm just gonna do a whole cookie recipe. And if we have leftovers, I'll take them to somewhere and my husband will take them to work. I'm just going to artificially soften these. cookie dough's done. Now I just need to make the actual bread part. I'm just really confused because this one says to use 3 grams of yeast, and that just like doesn't seem like anything. Okay, it's 3 grams. Okay, so once I finish the dough, it sits for an hour, and then once I form the dough balls and everything, they sit for another 40 minutes. So yes, I'll continue to work on this and finish it and then go work on candles. This is all good and doubled in size. These are like way smaller than I thought they'd be, but I mean it's bread, so it should grow. So I'm about to put the melon bread in the oven, and to be honest, it was just like way more involved and took longer, and also I just got like super tired. I'm gonna make candles tomorrow and just finish this up and then probably crochet for a little bit because I don't know why, but I just feel like I could fall asleep at like any minute. So he decided that it was sunbathing time, so he wouldn't follow me inside. But that's okay. Have fun sunbathing. Yeah! Was that a good time? The water is heated and I'm gonna start working on Osono's bakery. I know I said that I was going to clean the office, but I think I said that about 2 weeks ago now because, yeah, as I said, I got really tired that day and then fell into a little bit of a depression. So, I cleaned the office more or less a couple days ago, so I'm just going to make this batch of candles. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna make 3 candles. Typically I do a batch of 6, but I really don't know how this scent is and like theme is gonna go over. Sometimes I've made 6 of a new scent and like sold none of them, or like one of them, and then I just have a bunch hanging out forever. So I'm just gonna go really small and only make 3. I'm at like the end of this bag of wax, and I think I might barely have enough for 3 candles in here. I literally did have enough for pretty much exactly 3 candles. Okay, so I'm working on the Osono's Bakery label, and what I'm doing right now is just trying to find like free stock photos that I feel like match the vibe. Ideally, like, since obviously the movie is animation, I like wanted it to be artwork. I don't know if I can really find anything though, so it might just be like a real life picture. Okay, so I think I actually changed my mind in terms of using like an actual photo. I think I'm gonna try to do something like I did for Christmas Tree Farm, where it's all just graphic elements, and see how that goes, because I feel like that will match what I'm trying to do more than trying to use a photo. So you can see like the evolution here. So I had found this image from Kiki's delivery service, and I thought that this was like the perfect motif kind of for what I was going for. This like bread wreath with the bow and everything, so that's kind of what I went off of. I did end up finding like a braided wreath that was more artsy than just like clip art, and then started kind of messing around with fonts. Originally, my idea was to have Osono's be arched, but the more I worked with it, the more like hard it was to fit everything in here. I kept playing around with it, and also some different fonts, and then started messing around with it just like straight instead of arched, which I think I like more. Little GG. I think this is the one that I'm gonna go with. Originally, everything I was looking at, I had Osono's all capitalized, but I kind of like it not fully capitalized. So yeah, I think this is the final design that I'm gonna go with. Wow, this is way too bright. Hold on a second. Okay, so now that I made the designs for the Osono's bakery scent, I need to print them. And I use Avery labels for my labels right now. I print them at home because it's cheaper. And also, I don't want to go through quality situation of like ordering a thing and it's not the quality I want it to be resolution wise, so I just have more control about it at home. I am very frustrated that it's super hard to get these aligned, and I've never perfected that, so a lot of my labels are just like not cut out where I want them to be, which will forever make me upset, but it is what it is for now. So yeah, I just use 2x2 labels for my candles, and these are like the glossy kind, so I will print those out and then label things. Also show you what I've been doing for wax melts. Okay, so another thing is that I had to unplug the printer because it was being possessed, which it tends to do sometimes. So now it's starting up and being loud. We'll give it a second. Okay, now I think it's done. What was I saying? Do not beep at me. What was I saying? Right, okay, so with the alignment problems and the resolution problems with the labels, I realized that if I was trying to print them directly from the Avery website, it was never to the resolution that I wanted. So instead, I had to make my own template. So I made my own template, and pretty much the location and like alignment of these squares are predetermined, so I can just go in here and replace these with whatever I want. Export it as a PDF and then print it through Adobe at like the highest quality. And that is the way that has worked best for me in terms of like getting like really crisp resolution. I'm going to do that. Now that I'm looking at them again, I'm like, do I like the lowercase or do I like the uppercase? I don't know. I need to revisit some things on this. I got my husband's opinion. We both agreed on lowercase, so we're gonna go with lowercase. I will export it to a PDF and continue to not properly organize my files. I was gonna get a close-up shot of the computer screen, but someone, I don't know who, is like literally directly where I would need to put the tripod, so I guess that's not gonna happen because I'm not gonna make him move. This is as close as we can get. We'll go into print, and then in the media and quality, I just make sure I do like specialty, paper, glossy, and then quality is best. Make sure I uncheck this. Absolutely not. I do not know why these are coming out green. Yeah, it's showing they're fine, so I don't want to know why they're printing out green because it's not going to be anything good. This just keeps getting weirder. I printed it out on normal paper and like it's slowly getting to the right color as it's printing. I'm gonna try one more time and like, I don't know. Finally got it to print out correctly. I don't know, I feel like the red wasn't printing and like just needed to be woken up or something. But yeah, so I have these so I can label the candles. I will be making wax melts for the scent. I haven't made the wax melts for this scent yet because, as you maybe saw in past videos, I had made a custom wax melt mold for these, which were inspired by the cardigan design on the Taylor's cardigans that she sells that like correlate with albums. A few things happen with these. As much as I wanted to have the accents be colored the same color as the albums, I had to add the color to these bits separately and then pour the rest of the wax on top of it, and a lot of the time they wouldn't adhere to each other, so I would take it out and then like the stars and stuff would still be inside the mold. I have to take those out separately and like glue them on with wax, and it was too much. So I beat myself up about it and didn't know what to do, and then eventually was like, okay, I'm just gonna make them without the color, which isn't what I had originally envisioned, but it's fine. It's still more unique than just how I used to have my wax melts. When I was planning on doing these instead of the other kind of wax melt, wasn't really sure how I was gonna package them. Ended up packaging them in like a little plastic sleeve, and then I'd have to print out a paper version of the label and then laminate it so that the oil from the wax melt wouldn't like destroy the paper. And it just got to be like way too much, way too complicated for how much that I charge for these. I was like, okay, I think I just want different packaging so I can put a label sticker on it and it's fine. And then when I started looking at the kind of packaging that I wanted for these, it literally wouldn't fit. Like there was nothing I could find that fit these dimensions. Ended up just making a different mold for these, which is upsetting because I'd already made about like 5 of these, which is like, it's fine. It's just the, what is that called? The silicone for these like is kind of expensive, so I feel bad that like now I can't really use these. I might find some way to use them, but essentially I had to make a new cast for the molds and then change the size. So the new ones that don't have color are just a little bit smaller than these, like literally just a little bit smaller. Like that, it was frustrating because it had to be like just a tiny bit smaller. But then they're also thicker to make up for the size, so it's like still the same amount of wax. So the fact that they're this size meant that I can have them in these, which is super cute. And I'm excited about that. So these fit perfectly in here because I made them fit perfectly in there. So that is the saga of what's been going on with the wax melt. Since that mold is like very specifically tailor themed, I knew I could use it for other scents, but since I do have some scents like Osono's that are not tailor themed, I did want to have a different mold for like my Jane Austen scents and just anything that wasn't tailor that was still like branded and unique. So I made this, which I feel like is matching the branding that I've been building up of, I've been using like gingham for a lot of things, and this has like a cross weave, which is on par for that. And then obviously the butterfly, because like the Merry Wick mascot is a butterfly. So yeah, these are the ones that I'll be using for the Osono's bakery scent. I have one mold that I've made with this one, and I just need to make a couple more molds, so that's just gonna take me a couple days. I'd like to have 3 so that I can just pour 3 all at once and not really think about it. So need to make those. So I haven't made wax melts for that yet, but I have made the candles. So I will go label those. Super excited with how these turned out. I think it's very cute and very on brand. I think that's where I'm gonna leave this video. I feel like it's already kind of long. I know I still need to do the product photography for those candles, but maybe I'll just make that like an entirely separate video, or it'll just kind of get like mashed into a vlog. So yeah, thank you for joining me in this video that took me like 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks to like finish filming. To the subscriber that asked about the labels, I hope that was like in-depth enough. I know it wasn't like super detailed, but that's generally how I make my labels and everything. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon.